Welcome to another true crime vampires in history tale for you today. And we are going to be going to Paris, France to discuss this one. We will be discussing Nicolas Claux, also known as the Vampire of Paris, sometimes called Nico. He was a professed to be a practicing Satanist. He had one, possibly more, victims who he unalived. Born March 22nd, 1972. The unaliving that he committed, his victim's name was Thierry Bissonnière, who was a 34-year-old. It occurred on October the 4th of 1994, and Nico was 22 years of age at this time. By November the 15th, 1994, Nico was arrested. His method of unaliving the victim was by pew-pewing them, and this, of course, occurred in Paris, France. Due to this, he was sentenced to a total of 12 years in prison as of May 1997. However, after only serving 7 years and 4 months of his 12-year sentence, he was released from prison on March 22nd, 2002, which is a little bit shocking considering some of the things that he did. Now let's go back and go over those things. When apprehended, Claux confessed to one unaliving, claiming to be a practicing Satanist. A search of his apartment turned up unidentified skeletal remains, life fluid bags stolen from a hospital's life fluid bank, and funeral jars filled with human ashes and hundreds of hardcore SMV videotape. He was described by court psychiatrists as being a nearly psychotic sadist. He shocked investigators when he described how he enjoyed eating strips of muscles from the corpses lying on the slab of the St. Joseph Hospital mortuary. He also described how he enjoyed prowling Parisian cemeteries, digging up fresh graves, and drinking human life fluid mixed with human ashes and powder protein. However, due to a lack of evidence connecting him to other crimes, Nico was only charged with 1 count of premeditated unaliving and 6 counts of grave robbery. During his trial, psychiatrists confirmed that he could not be held entirely responsible for his crimes, however, and in May 1997, he was unrepentant to his ism and was found guilty of unaliving and sentenced to 12 years in prison. He was made eligible for parole in late 2000. On November the 15th, 1994, officers of the Parisian Brigade Criminelle arrested 22-year-old Nicolas Claux outside the world-famous cabaret Moulin Rouge on suspicion of unaliving Thierry Bissonnière, 34. Bissonnière's October 4th unaliving was one of a string of unalivings, and 7 of which occurred in October alone. The unaliving squad's preliminary investigator, Gilbert Thiel, believed that a single unaliver was responsible and was eager to get Claux back to headquarters for questioning. Claux said that Thiel, a veteran of several high-profile cases, was not prepared for the web of unaliving, illism, and sadistic acts he had woven into his short lifetime. The following account includes several narrations by Mr. Claux to provide a better window on his life and his crimes. Some of his commentaries delivered in writing have been edited, polished, and arranged for a better narrative flow. He said, quote, "Following my arrest, I was taken back to the Parisian Crime Department for questioning. Unbeknownst to me, crime scene investigators were already in the process of exercising a search warrant on my apartment at 9 Rue Casteau. Inside, they found a .22 caliber pew-pew under my bed, which they immediately sent off for ballistic testing. While they were probably not surprised to have found the pew-pew, they were almost certainly not prepared for the grisly scene that welcomed them. Throughout my apartment, bone fragments and human teeth were scattered about like loose change. Vertebra and leg bones hung from the ceiling like morbid mobiles, and hundreds of video cassettes, mostly slasher and hardcore flicks, filled my shelves. One could only imagine what went through the minds of investigators as they looked around my living quarters." Go to his apartment where they discovered the grisly scene. And that is the story of the Paris vampire Nicolas Claux and how he had some very twisted interests, y'all. Until next time, that is today's True Crime Vampires in History. This one coming at you, out of France. Talk to you guys. We only have a couple more left, but I'll be talking to you guys about those ones later. And our last but not least will be Elizabeth Bathory. I do believe that Nicholas was the third on the list. Yeah, we have two left. We have one more, which should be Richard Chase. And then we will be talking about Elizabeth Bathory last. So, until next time, y'all have a happy Monday night. Stay safe out there.